Welcome back to The Vocalist. Today we are listening to Sam Cooke. It's just going to be audio for this one, and we're listening to the song A Change Is Gonna Come. Here we go.
Just like the river, I've been running ever since. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes, it will. It's been too hard living, but I'm afraid to die. 'Cause I don't know what's up there beyond the sky. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes it will.
He's easily like top 10 greatest vocalists for me. There's something so earnest about his tone that just breaks your heart. And I mean, as far as musicianship, obviously incredible singer, but he wrote songs. I mean, there was just so much talent in just one person. I'm gonna go back to the beginning here. Now, if you get the chance to scour YouTube and watch him sing live, there are two things that have always stood out to me in just seeing him sing. The first is that he was never afraid to open his mouth. And so when we talk about creating space in the vocal tract, a lot of singers will do that with the pharynx, but you can also do that with the oral cavity. And so what happens is by opening your mouth just a little bit wider, he doesn't hyperextend by any means. He's not, pulling his jaw, but by using your mouth instead of relying on pharyngeal space, it gives a slightly brighter tone to the sound. And I think that might be why it was still very full and still very rich, but I know he was 33 when he died, but it still maintained this very youthful quality. The other thing that I noticed that I've always adored is he wasn't afraid to sort of not tilt his head back, but just sort of, relax it back. And when you think about where your skull is on your head and how it connects to your neck, that's a great position for a lot of singers. Instead of, trying to lower the chin and kind of restrict everything and pull everything forward, allowing your head to be free to move is so smart. And it's so beautiful to watch on any singer, but I especially remember seeing him do it in a few performances. So back to the beginning. It's just the tiniest bit of texture, but it adds so much soul to this already gorgeous sound.
I was born by the river in a little tent.
And then when he said in, you can hear how we get this slightly, we get more clarity in the sound because we get that nice glottal onset.
In a little tent. Oh, and just like the river, I've been running ever since.
You can almost hear that opening that I was talking about with his mouth when he says like.
I've been running.
Let me go back.
River, in a little tent. just like the river I've been running ever since. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes it will. It's been too hard living, but I'm afraid to die. 'Cause
I have to, sorry, I got a little distracted by the orchestration. This has become, I mean, so many people do covers of this song, and it's so soulful and so passionate. But that orchestration just adds this incredible elegance as well to the song that I think I sometimes forget. It was the French horn that that I heard that I was like, ooh, what's happening in the orchestra? And then these lush strings come in, and everything just works so beautifully together.
Oh, yes it will.
That.
It's been too hard living, but I'm afraid to die. 'Cause I don't know what's up there beyond the sky. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come.
I won't go back. His diction is out of this world. It's so natural and yet so crisp. I don't feel like he's over enunciating, but I can hear and understand every single word. And I mean, obviously, when you're singing something with so much meaning and a message that you want delivered, we have to know what you're saying. And it's just, oh, it's so good.
Oh, yes it will. I go to the movie and I go downtown. Somebody keep telling me don't hang around. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come.
Part of the earnestness that I was talking about, I think, is in the pronunciation that we're getting. His diphthongs, he's not shying away from just giving us every glorious sound and every beautiful vowel in each diphthong, which I love. In terms of phrasing, that's another thing that is just, I don't know, it's remarkable. I think we take phrasing for granted often. In this case, he's not letting notes or words taper off. He's just really giving us the full breadth of the line and then starts a new one. And it's so captivating. And I think it's very powerful in its presentation because it's very commanding, I think is the word I'm going for. Let me back it up just a smidge.
Hang around. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes it will. Then I go to my brother and I say, brother, help me please. But he winds up.
Let me go back. The word please, it had just this added softness to it, and I think part of that is because generally he's got that open oral cavity space, or taking advantage of it. And then to say the word please, not only are you closing your mouth, but you're raising the tongue, and so there's just not as much space there, so we're not going to get quite as much volume.
And I say, brother, help me please. But he winds up knocking me back down on my knees. Oh, there've been times that I thought I could last for long, but now I think I'm able to carry on. It's been a long time coming, but I know change gon' come.
I want to hear the beginning of this one again. This verse, you can hear that gorgeous vibrato come in, and it's so striking to hear that in conjunction with the texture that he's incorporating.
But now I think I'm able to carry on. It's been a long.
I needed to go back a little further. That was it.
Knocking me back down on my knees. Oh, there've been times.
And that release on that note was gorgeous.
Back down on my knees. Oh, there've been times.
Oh, it was so precise, and you could hear that slight definition. Now, little trick, sometimes singers will use muscle to help release notes, maybe even from the abdomen, but another great trick for releasing a note, especially when it's really high, is to just inhale, because as soon as you are taking air in, you can't have air flow out, which is how we phonate, how our chords come together and make sound. So he didn't do that in this case, but it's just a little trick for singers out there, especially the high notes, when you're like, I'm afraid it's gonna squeak or something, maybe it's gonna crack, something's weird is gonna happen because you've just been holding your muscle and holding this tension for so long. Just quick inhale is a good trick. Here we go.
That I thought I could last for long, but now I think I'm able to carry on. It's been a long time coming, but I know change gon' come. Oh, yes it will.
I love so much of his music. He really was an exceptional musician. Even his covers, you guys know I love Patti Page, and what he did with Tennessee Waltz is so good. But for me, it's the voice. There is something... I don't know if it almost something unrefined or raw. It's just, he could do pop, he could do, elegance, so many different things, but there was just this quality to his sound that was so captivating, and just everything he touched turned to gold. It was just, so good. All right. That's all for today. Thank you guys so much for listening with me, and hopefully I will see you next time.